Sparrow Wren. I am here for Studio 64, and I have the pleasure today of interviewing Johnny Wheels of Johnny Wheels and the Swamp Donkeys.
Hello.
So, I have so many questions.
All right.
And so little time.
Let's do it.
So Swamp Donkeys are going to be playing today. I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
When I was, this is the obvious question, the Swamp Donkeys is a hunting term when I looked it up, generally, right?
That is true.
Is that where it came from, or how does it apply to your music?
So Taylor and I have done acoustic stuff off and on. We were in a band that we were very unsatisfied in, musically and creatively, and we decided to do acoustic sessions during their breaks, and we needed a band name. So we started calling ourselves the Purple Pterodactyls, the Psychedelic Turtles, just stuff like that. And one night, Taylor goes, "Yeah, we're the Swamp Donkeys." And a light went off in my head, and I was like, "Where did you hear that?" And he told me Urban Dictionary. And so I went and looked it up, and it is the most horrific definition of something you could find. And I was like, that is perfect.
Not the hunting term. I found that.
No,
okay.
no.
All right. I'm going to go with the hunting term.
Google it. Google Swamp Donkey.
No. So what is it about this particular genre of music that really feeds you?
Man, that's such a hard question because I don't feel like we have one that we fit in. And so for me, it's like every night I go and I read what's in front of me, and that's what we're going to play. And that's what feeds me, is like people and their energy, and how can I read them and make them feel good about what we're doing, whether it's country music, blues music, rock and roll. I mean, we fit very well in blues, so that just happens to help. But I just feel like I don't know how to answer what genre, because it's just music in general that fuels me, like just what bass, drums, guitar, singing, vocals. As long as it feels good, that's what I want to do.
Okay, well, fair enough. When I was reading a few things on you, I read that you were inspired by the soul of the Northwest. What does that mean?
It's such an interesting question. To me, there's a bit of hardship here in the Northwest, just living here. We have very hard winters a lot of times that are not easy to get through, and we have very short summers. So it's like, live hard, fast, and as free as you can, because you're going to be locked down for a few months when the rain comes and there's just not a whole lot to do. Okay. That's what that would mean to me.
Okay, that's cool. And then another quote that I read from you that I absolutely loved is that you like to live a song on the edge. Tell me more.
That is a literal description for what we do on stage. I'm ready to jump off the cliff at any moment, and my band has to be ready to come with me, because we don't know what's going to come next. We don't rehearse our songs. We don't rehearse our shows. We call everything in the moment as it is. And so for me, it's like we're literally teetering on the edge until we jump.
Which is the cool thing about live performance, right?
To me, yeah.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, bands that can rehearse and play the same show, extremely talented. I could never do that in a million years. But I don't know how many bands could do what we do, which is just live, call what we feel, play what we feel, make mistakes, and recover from them.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I completely connect with that. It took me a while to kind of come to terms with how I fit musically, right? Because there's always somebody else, and you look at them and you're like, well, if that's music, then how am I valid? But I think what you said is spot on. Everybody has their own valid position, and your position is very in the moment and live.
Absolutely, yeah. I couldn't do it any other way.
I like it.
It's a spur of the moment feeling for me, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
And as far as the Swamp Donkeys, what are your goals as a musician, or for the Swamp Donkeys in specifically for 2024?
I just want to play as many shows, as many places as I possibly can. And the one goal that I've always had in my life is I want to know what it's like to play in front of 10,000 people. And so that is like truly my only goal. When we recorded our album, it was like, hey, it's time to record an album. We didn't have a bunch of songs, so we wrote all them. This is how we live everything, is like by the moment. And my only goal truly is to play in front of 10,000 people. That's when I will consider myself some sort of success.
Are you feeling like this is the year for that? Does it feel
hope
like
so.
things are poised and aligned?
I hope so. There's definitely a lot of things coming up that we've never done before. So
Tell me about that.
we have gigs that are going to take us across the country. Finally, we're playing some more blues festivals here in the Northwest that we've never been part of, and so we're lining up as many shows as we've ever had this year. And so in 2020 we played 212 shows, and I want to play more than that.
212 shows. That's a lot of shows.
It is, yeah.
What does that work out to? Like what?
It's about every 3 gigs a week or so, something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. So you've shared the stage with some very well-known people. Do you have a favorite story from any of those situations that you can share without embarrassing anyone?
I mean, being on stage with Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi is probably as best as it's ever going to get. Dan Aykroyd is somebody that I've idolized all my life, and Jim Belushi is an incredibly creative person, incredibly entertaining, and a very good friend of mine. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, was that the napkin story you told me about earlier?
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
I was giving an interview, and I was sweating really bad. And he walked up to me in the middle of the interview and stopped it and pulled a napkin out of his pocket and wiped my face with it, and it smelled of barbecue sauce. And I was like, oh, that's very endearing. It was almost like I was his child.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. Well, I appreciate your time today. I can't wait to see you guys playing in just a little bit. And
I look forward to it.
Yeah, so
gonna be fun.
Sparrow Wren and Johnny Wheels saying goodbye for now for Studio 64.
Thank you.